Are you an MMO gamer? I'm not. But I'm going to review these three mice anyway. None of which I've ever actually done any true gaming with, but I think I can get my point across. One of these mice that I've had for a while now, the UTechSmart Venus mouse, it's got a DPI of about 16,000, which is about 16,000 more than any human being would ever need. But the true guy that we're going to review today is the Corsair Scimitar. Chris has just bought this mouse, and it's got some surprising features and some not so surprising features. But a really quick, brief overview about this mouse. It's got a braided cable, not quite as finely braided as maybe the Razer mouse that we've got or the UTechSmart mouse. But it is braided. It's got a clearly defined USB. This is something I wish more manufacturers would catch on to. You can watch our video of the TT Esports Theron mouse. They also have a nicely distinguishable USB on it. It's got a Velcro strap on this, so in case you're somebody who is on the go, like if you use a laptop or if you just need a few loops of your cable constantly wound up so it's not all over your desk, you can do that, although not something you couldn't readily get a cheap, pack of Velcro ties for. The scroll wheel is very nice and distinguished. You can tell clearly when it clicks. It's not a weighted wheel, so it doesn't have a bunch of momentum with it. So I used to have a Corsair M60 mouse, and you could really it felt like the wheel had a lot of momentum with it, or inertia, one of the two. I'm not a physics person. But one of the distinguishing features of this mouse is the number pad on it, which is typically what distinguishes MMO mice as being MMO mice. But it's got 12 buttons. We have alternating rows of distinguishing textures, and we've got the coolest ability of this, which is that you can slide forward and backward the number pad according to your kind of grip and your hand. There is a keyed slot in the bottom of the mouse where you can use the very heavy and well-made Allen key to adjust it, so to tighten it down and kind of lock it in position. I would say that Corsair learned something from their previous mice. Specifically, I'm talking about one of the mice I owned, which was a Corsair M60. It used to have a sniper button that was towards the thumb tip, and then eventually they came out with another iteration of it where it was closer to the joint in your thumb so that you could just click inward on it. Another distinguishing part of this, where if we compare it to the Razer Naga, is that on the sides of it we have more rubber grip on the Corsair Scimitar compared to the Razer Naga. And something that Chris mentioned, which was pretty evident if you're looking for a very particular kind of mouse, is that if you're somebody who does liftoff and you're constantly, shifting left and right, for gripping the actual mouse and moving left and right, the best one was probably the UTechSmart, although it has lower quality features in almost every regard. Then comes the Corsair Scimitar, which is a higher end product, I would say. And then finally, this is an older 2014 Razer Naga, not much older, but the point being that it does a better job for liftoff than some other mice, and that's something you may want to pay attention to. We also have a video where I reviewed a Logitech, M6000, G600. Anyway, that was another high quality mouse that we did, which was an MMO mouse. I would say that personally to me is the one that felt the best in comparison to these other three mice. As far as the profile goes for the 12 buttons on each of these, 12 seems to be a recurring theme. I don't know why 12 is significant in this regard, but the UTechSmart mouse is the most pronounced, next to the most distinguishable, so being able to tell between each of the buttons is the Razer Naga, and then for me at least, last was the Corsair one. It is profiled to match the curvature of your hand, but it's not quite as easily distinguishable probably when you're in game. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure that Corsair has a decent software utility for configuring the mouse. I personally do not ever have the utility constantly running. I usually set all my mice DPI instantly after buying a new mouse or getting a new one. And from there, I just uninstall it or never use it again, because most mice have pretty decent hardware where they can save the DPI setting. So then you set it once and then you can go to any other computer and then use it from there. Not only that, but it looks like all three of these mice, including the Logitech that I reviewed, have DPI up and down that you can set appropriately for different profiles. Maybe if you go to a different machine, maybe you have a laptop or a more tablet-oriented computer like a Surface Pro like I've got. Sometimes a higher or lower DPI setting is better for the screen, possibly. I think that's really all there is to distinguish between all of these. I'd say for sure, if you're somebody who likes a claw grip, all of these mice are great for that. If you're somebody who likes to do a palm grip, that's, with the edge of your palm resting on the back of the mouse, you're also in luck. However, if you're somebody who likes to use a finger grip, the Razer Naga 2014 I don't like as much for the finger grip. The UTechSmart I think works great for all different profiles, and the Scimitar does great for all different profiles, as well as the Logitech mouse. Otherwise, I don't think that there's much else to say. If you like lighting, you can get the Scimitar for the RGB. I think there's a chroma version of the Razer Naga now that you can get if you need that feature. Even the cheap UTechSmart mouse has RGB capability, but I think it's still broken to this day, where the scroll wheel will not change its RGB setting. So I think that's about it. I think it's a fine product if you're looking for a new mouse. I may not be the best to go to for an MMO review, but I think that it's a high quality product, just like much of Corsair's other products, and it would go well with their other RGB products, as Chris has done. So if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to go to the new tab YouTube page and check out some more. Thanks.